What is up, beautiful human? I hope you're having a lovely day. Today's conversation, as we round out 2024, is about isolation. Seems a lot of us are doing this, different reasons. Maybe we want to stay safe. Maybe we don't feel seen, we don't feel loved, we don't feel like the world gets us. And so we isolate, less overwhelm, less people pleasing, we have to do less shrinking of ourselves. It just feels better, In our little world, in our little bubble, we control all the things. We control what we do, what we think about. And if you have to isolate, let's say life's just been kicking you around, and so you isolate to get your grounding again, to get your footing. I think you gotta do what you gotta do. But there comes a point in our isolation where we have to ask ourselves, do we want to continue living like this? Because on one hand, when we're isolated, sure, we have more control over these variables, how we're going to feel, what we're going to do. But if we isolate because we don't feel like others can see us, can love us, are we not just perpetuating that by isolating? And maybe we isolate because we don't feel like we can trust ourselves to be a good judge of character, a good judge of other people. We don't feel like we can take a leap of faith in an endeavor and something we've always wanted to do, this or that. So we play small. We try not to ruffle any feathers, color outside the lines. We just do what we do. Maybe you you have a job, go to work, come home, sleep, go to work, come home, sleep. It's such a conundrum. Everyone we've ever known in our lives who made an impact for better or worse was a stranger at one point. At one point, we never knew who they were. And just like us, any impact we've have had on other people, we once didn't even exist to them. We can think about this concept of existing. I feel like I've gotten to a place mentally where it's like, okay, well, I don't really exist. You don't really exist. This life is fleeting, it's temporary, we're much more. We're connected to this bigger force. And that's all great, right? Like, that... But what does it do for me? Like, what do these things do for me or for you? We think about these things, we're like, people don't see it. Or, I have some sort of clarity on my existence here. It actually doesn't matter. All right, well, does that bring you any closer to joy, to happiness, to fulfillment, to being loved, to being seen? Or is it a resignation? Is it a gotcha with the universe? Like, I see how it's all working. I get it now. It's like, okay, what do you get? So now you understand something that even less people will see and understand. And it doesn't actually help you in your life. It doesn't actually bring you closer to any of the things I just mentioned. It's like, what's the point? You just get to the place again. It's like, what's the point? So silly. It's also real, these things, I talk about, these feelings we have. It's real, but it's silly. It's so silly to live in fear. It's so silly to not put yourself out there. You're good, you're bad, you're ugly. It's so silly to not trust ourselves, to make good decisions, to know when we'll be aligned with people, to know when we won't be aligned with people. It's so silly to perpetuate our suffering through the weird thing our mind does to make us feel like we're doing ourselves a service. It's so confusing. It's all so confusing. I get to a place mentally that the only real purpose of life is to have fun and to feel inspired. And you could say those two things maybe are hard to do if you have to support yourself, if you have to do this or that. You ask, like, how do they coexist? If I need to pay my bills, if I need to do this, that, and the other, how can I do all of that? And maybe you get to a place where you'll think you'll plan, you'll do this or that. But you have the inspiration now, you have the courage now. Life doesn't wait. You know, you can try to like methodically think about things, try to plan, wait for the best idea, wait for the time, the perfect time, wait for the perfect person. It's like, it doesn't really exist. It's what you make it. Like, the best time to do something is the time you feel inspired. You know, and people will say, and it's logical, people will say, well, you can't do that sometimes, you got to do this or that and the other. And if you think that, you're right, you know? It's all so confusing. I guess what I'm trying to say with this message for today is, you know, question yourself. Question the things you think. If it's not actually helping you, question where you're putting your energy. Because if your life is no more better, you're no more happier, you're no more fulfilled, you're no more inspired, then are you actually winning? Whether you're isolated or not. What are the things that matter most to you? How can you get closer to those things in your life? Because some of this mental stuff, like this mental, you know, understanding, realization, that's how it feels, you know? It's like, okay, now what? Now what? Show me how good it gets, universe. Show me how good it can get. Show me how I can get to a place that I'm making magic happen for myself. Show me how freaking loving and exciting it can get. I've seen the dismal shit. Show me how great it can get. And that's going to be my focus for 2025. I'm going to probably make a lot of wild decisions for me, for, you know, for my lens, my focus. But, man, 2025 is the year of being happy for no reason, being silly for no reason, taking chances, taking risk for me, you know, to show myself I'm listening, to show myself I care. Because seriously, guys, like, if we can't do all of this stuff for us, no one ever is ever going to see us. And here's the thing. Normally when we can do it for ourselves, we don't even care if someone else does it for us, you know? It's like, I've never thought anyone had to tie my shoes because I can do it for me, you know? If I can't see myself and I can't love myself, then of course I'm going to look for it out there. Of course. But if I can provide that for myself, then there is no seeking, there is no searching. It's just, you're seen, you're loved. So many things come back to ourselves. So many things come back to the relationship we have with ourselves. And you gotta watch your mind, man. Your mind just wants to be right. It wants to figure something out, you know? Really just sucks the joy of life out from you. So anyways, today's a little different one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope your 2025 is the best year yet. Alrighty, I'll see ya.